beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back. And today is just an absolutely glorious day. Not only is the sun shining, the weather is absolutely perfect. It is like the most beautiful fall day, but I can finally represent my Philadelphia Eagles because we have gotten our first win this season, baby. And if you are eyeing up this incredibly dope crew neck and wondering where you can get one for yourself, you must check out my girl Abby at Philadelphia Made on Instagram. She has custom vintage and retro apparel for all Philadelphia sports, and I will be including her in the description down below, so make sure to go check out her page. And I just can't get over how much an Eagles win really changes my week. I'm still smiling, and yes, my voice is still gone because of it. Yes, I know it's a little silly to get this excited over my team getting their first win in week 4. However, I'm not a hard girl to please. Come in and get a win when you need to. We take the division with a 1-2-1 record. It's all that really matters. We are number 1! However, on the other hand, there are some fan bases that actually have something to be excited about because there are still 6 undefeated teams heading into week 5. I didn't realize how bad my voice was actually gone. Spencer! What? Can you bring me a Pepsi? Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. You're welcome. That's what I needed. Bills, Packers, Chiefs, Titans. Why is this such a tongue twister? Bills, Packers, Chiefs, Titans, Steelers, Seahawks have not lost a game. That only took me 10 tries. Now, 5 of these 6 teams I knew were going to be great this season. However, there is one outlier in this group that I was not expecting. The Steelers? Now, let me make this very clear. I never thought the Steelers were going to be bad this season at all. I knew they were going to be good. And how did I know this? Last season, they went 8-8 without their starting quarterback. They went back and forth between their second and third string quarterback. They had a long list of other injuries. And they still didn't have a losing record. Mike Tomlin is absolutely unbelievable. But they are really freaking hot this season. They have proven that they have the best defense in the league. Ben Roethlisberger has proven that he's still got it. And as we know, I was very excited to see the Steelers-Titans matchup that was supposed to be in week 4. That game just had such a sexy storyline. Both teams undefeated. The Titans have a beautiful offense. The Steelers have a killer defense. Oh my God. However, because of the coronavirus outbreak within the Titans organization, we will have to wait until week 7 to see that matchup. Both teams got an early bye this week because of it, and now they both remain at 3-0. The Titans are scheduled to host the Bills this weekend. Now, a positive note, the Titans have had no new positive COVID tests, so they are able to open their facilities today. So far, nothing has been said about this matchup for this weekend. I'm going to take that as good news. And then the number of undefeated teams will slowly start diminishing. No matter what happens, these teams have showed the rest of the league that they are the ones to be afraid of. I honestly think the Ravens should be included in this conversation, but they are no longer undefeated, so I have to count them out for right now because I am going to pose the question of if we believe any of these teams could remain undefeated throughout the entire regular season. Can any of these teams go 16-0? Seriously, let's take a look at these teams. For the Bills, I gave Josh Allen major kudos before the season even started, so I have to thank him for absolutely killing it and proving me right. He did give me a minor heart attack this weekend against the Raiders. When it appeared he went down with a left shoulder injury, he did leave the game for a hot sec, but he really didn't miss any action and came back out nothing ever happened. So now I can breathe again, thank God. However, there are some questions whether the Bills should even be 4-0 because of a controversial call at the end of their game in week 3 against the Rams. They ended up winning that game 35-32, but it was so close. And they are also in a division with the Patriots, who when Cam Newton is healthy have proved that they are still a contender. And they still have to play them twice. And as I said earlier, next week they have the Titans. The week after that they have the Chiefs. They have a tough schedule, I think it would be really difficult for them to win every game from here on out. This is not taking anything away from them. I have the Bills going 12-4 this season, and that is an incredible record. I just don't think they're going to be able to pull off a perfect season. And another one of these teams that is in that same category, the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson, who has never even received a single MVP vote ever, is making his case to take it this season. I think the Seahawks are unbelievable. There's really nothing bad I can say about them, but they are in a very competitive division, and when they have to play these difficult teams twice, I think they are guaranteed a loss. Eventually, at some point. I just think to go 16-0 is very difficult. Like, duh. Another team that I cannot see an undefeated season from this year, the Titans. I think this COVID outbreak is gonna mess them up. Having your bye week move to week 4 when you have a tough schedule is just really unfortunate. They're going to get tired, they're going to make mistakes, and they are a great team. They are a playoff team, but they cannot win them all this season. I know that for a fact. Now, realistically, do I fully believe that any team is going to go undefeated, have a perfect regular season this year? No, but I think you can make the case for the Chiefs, the Packers, and the Steelers. It is easy to believe that the Chiefs could go 16-0. Overall, I just think they are the most complete team in the league. They have the best quarterback, they have an amazing offense, they have a good defense, and they have an unreal coach in Andy Reid. They are prepared for whatever comes their way, and looking at their schedule, there really is no team that I can see them losing to. They are the real deal. They are absolutely terrifying. And we all know I am a huge Aaron Rodgers fangirl. I am a huge fan of the Packers this season, but this is not me being biased. The king that is Aaron Rodgers is making absolute magic happen with practice squad receivers. That has yet to come down, and if they keep this up, they're going to march over every team and march right into the Super Bowl. Yes, I just said that. Yes, I fully believe it. Now, claiming that the Steelers are not going to lose a game this season is a hot take. There is a huge difference in me saying that it is going to happen and that it could happen. And right now, all I'm saying is that it could happen. You just can't count them out right now. Looking at their schedule, it is easy peasy lemon squeezy for them. Ben Roethlisberger is hot. He's got his choice of weapons to give the ball to on offense. Their defense, I can't say it enough. It is unbelievable. And if anyone sits here and tells me that Mike Tomlin is not one of the best coaches in the NFL, you're just flat out wrong. I'm not even gonna argue with you. That's just not factual, because he is. It is going to be very exciting to see how this season plays out for all 6 of these teams. And while these teams might be sitting there feeling very high and mighty right now, there are 4 teams that are left sitting, just defeated. The Falcons, the Giants, the Jets, and the Texans are all still winless. My lock of the week last week was Packers over Falcons. And I got a lot of questions about that because the Packers were going to be missing their top 2 wide receivers. People were questioning if the Falcons were due for a win. But I guess their mentality going into this week was if you don't have a lead, you can't blow it. The Falcons are going to be struggling. Julio Jones didn't even come out after halftime with his hamstring injury. They lost KZ with a string of other injuries. They've proven to have a strong offense, so as long as they can get points on the board and keep a lead, the Falcons will get a win. The question is just when. Next week they take on the Panthers, and the Panthers are having a rebuilding season there without that star, and yet they look great. If I was a Falcons fan, I would be scared. I would not be surprised if the Falcons are 0-5 after this week. As for the Giants and the Jets, You're just not good. There's really no other way to put it. Giants kind of have an excuse. They lost Saquon, Sterling Shepard was out, and I mean the Jets are without Le'Veon Bell, but it's no secret that both of these teams need a lot of work. The Jets organization also just seems super confusing right now. They came out and said if they lose this game, Gase will be fired. They lose this game the next morning, Gase will not be fired. Like what? So while Adam Gase has his job for now, Bill O'Brien, on the other hand, doesn't. After starting 0-4, the Texans fire their head coach, who is also their GM, Bill O'Brien. And I can't say I'm surprised. He actually ruined this organization pretty much. He is taking Deshaun Watson, who should be an unbelievable quarterback, and he's making him look average. Every trade and deal he made for that team, they were on the losing end of. So I'm not surprised that it happened. I just wasn't expecting it to happen this early. I thought they would at least give him the season. He literally came out and said he wasn't nervous for his job, and then they fired him. I think this absolutely was the smartest move for the Texans. I think I'm just more shocked that Bill O'Brien lost his job before Adam Gase did. Cause now let's take a look at week 5 and a couple of games that I think you should keep your eye on for this weekend. We're gonna start off with an interesting one here, okay? Just bear with me on this and hear me out. The 1-3 Dolphins at the 2-2 49ers. Yes, the Dolphins haven't had the best start this season. However, they still have some fire in them. In week 2 against the Bills, they were leading them in the 4th quarter. And this past week against the Seahawks, they were only down by 2 in the 4th. They are in these games until the very end. And let's face it, the 49ers are injured. I don't even know if they have enough players to be on the field this weekend. And with the way it's looking right now, they're still going to be missing Garoppolo, Mostert, Ford, and Coleman. Against the Eagles, Kittle proved that he is an absolute beast, having one of the best games of his career, just coming off of an injury. However, it seems like the team is going to rely on him, and they're relying on him alone. The point spread for this game has the 49ers by 8. So maybe the Dolphins don't come in and beat them, but I think it would be silly to ignore the fact that they can cover that point spread. And I would put my money on the Dolphins this weekend because part of me thinks they're actually going to win anyway. But that's just me. Dun 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 dun. Now let's take a look at the 1-4 Vikings at the 4-0 Seahawks. And I'm gonna keep this one really simple. In just 4 games this season, remember we are only going into week 5. So in weeks 1 through 4, Russell Wilson has 16 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. That actually doesn't sound real. And if that didn't blow your mind, the Seahawks are averaging 35.5 points a game. And the Vikings currently rank in the bottom 5 for scoring defenses. So they are coming off their first win. Maybe they come in a little hotter, but I think it is very, very unlikely that the Minnesota Vikings are going to beat the undefeated Seahawks this week. And as always, I will close this off with my lock of the week this week. I am low-key 2 for 2 so far, so remember that when I say this out loud, because this week is an interesting one. With the 1-3 Jags at the 0-4 Texans, I am putting my money on the Texans. Houston, your problem is gone. There are so many reports saying that Bill O'Brien created a toxic energy in that organization. I just think a weight is going to be lifted off their shoulders this weekend, and they're going to come out and easily beat the Jags. I think Deshaun Watson is going to look like the Deshaun Watson that we were expecting this season. The point spread has the Texans at -6.5, and I think that's easy money right there. Please let me know what games you will be watching in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye.